which is December and January, that's when the philosophy kind of changes a little bit, and you got to narrow down towards position guys and coordinator guys and that sort of thing.
You know, you've coached 3 or 4 of the top quarterbacks in college football today that you know learned from you or taught you something. Either way, would you briefly compare them, go over their strengths and weaknesses, and any similarities that might tie them together? What they do right?
Well, I've got my hands full with the one that I'm coaching right now. You know, he's a daily challenge. You know, and he learned stuff again this past week. You know, I mean, he gets it so wrapped up in the game, and which is a good thing. You know, I mean, he's all in. It means so much to him. He wants to be successful on every play. You know, to where he probably tries too hard at times. You know, and he's a great player, and he's going to continue to get better and better over the next year and a half to the point to where you'll see a finished product. You know, but right now you're not looking at a finished product. You know, some of the other guys that you've made reference to, like Brandon Weeden and Case Keenum, are more finished products. They've taken more snaps in the system. You know, when I left Houston and Oklahoma State, they kept the same system for a reason. You know, and they have the same guy doing the same system for Case 4 years now, and Brandon now 2 years now, and you're seeing some pretty good football out of those guys. You know, I mean, they're both 6-0, and they're playing at a very, very high rate. You know, we're 5-1, and we're not playing at that rate right now offensively. You know,
something that ties great quarterbacks together, though, other than the obvious that they can throw the ball well.
Yeah, knowing exactly what to do with the ball, understanding exactly what we're trying to get accomplished, which and they understand it a little bit better than Gino does right now. Gino can do some things those guys can't do, but they understand it a little bit more just based on experience. And it'd be fun a year from now, watching Gino with that kind of experience under his belt, knowing exactly what to do and being on the same page a year advanced with everybody else around. Then you can start talking about good offensive football.
Can you accelerate that if things are so similar with Houston and Oklahoma State? Can you show him those things and say, look a year in the future and this is what you might do?
Yeah, we do every week.
Yeah.
And our job as coaches and our goal is to try to get better at it each week, But it takes time. It's not a snap of your fingers. It's not like you can just show it to him on tape and say, go do it. And like I said, he can do some things that a lot of other people across the country can't do. And his competitiveness is something that is irreplaceable, But it takes reps, it takes experience, it takes time to get to the point to where it's more efficient, is the word I'm looking for.
When you say you show it to them every week, are you talking about showing them clips of what Weeden and Keenum did under you, or are you showing them what they did last week?
I don't have any of their film from this year. Probably ought to get some, I guess. But we reference some of that stuff, specific plays, specific ways of doing things. The best way for a kid to understand it is to see it. I mean, kids are so film oriented where they got to see it. I guess it's because of video games or something. That if they see it, they're gonna probably do it a little bit better. So we do go back and reference it.
You said he can do things that some other people can't do. What are those sorts of things that you feel like he's got that ability to do?
Yeah, I don't know specifics. I don't know. They're all good. I don't want to sell Gino short a little bit just because to use the excuse of he's only been in it for 6 games now, and those other guys are more efficient because they've been in it a lot longer. With that said, there's Gino's still a great player, and 100% of my focus is to make sure that he continues to improve as a player and as a person. That's our job right now, and that's why I don't worry about the other guys. I worry about what we have right here.
One thing we talked about in terms of recruiting was how TCU was going to open up kind of a door to Texas. Does
their announcement last night change anything you guys are doing? Does it make it harder, or do you look at that as a non-factor in terms of what you're doing recruiting-wise?
I never bought into that, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, because I know who recruits Texas, and I know where guys from Texas go to school, and they go to school for reasons other than I get to play TCU. Well, you know, there's something to be said, say, here at West Virginia, there's something to be said for I get to go play at West Virginia as opposed to, ooh, golly, I get to play against TCU, you know. So I never bought into that, you know, and, you know, so we're going to continue to recruit the same people and sell what we have as opposed to who we play. To me, it's more about the place where you're at and what you got to offer, which I think, you know, West Virginia, not only from a football standpoint, but from a, you know, especially men's and women's basketball, from the product that Coach Carey and Coach Huggins are putting out there on the court, that, you know, it's a very attractive situation, you know, and the support is here, you know, the finances are here, the facilities are here, but can get better, and the product's pretty good. So, you know, I think that's pretty good.
So what did you think of the crowd last Saturday?
It's good. It's good.
One little
We were all at a great environment, you know. I mean, it's what we're after, right? I mean, we get, you know, the kids hit the field and there's lots of excitement, and, you know, like I said, you know, it's not for me, I can assure you that, but it looked like everybody was having a heck of a time out there tailgating and enjoying the weather and enjoying a good product on the field and an exciting atmosphere and exciting environment. And I know that 12 recruits that we had in town had a heck of a time. You know, it all ties in. So, you know, if you missed it, you know, it's a shame.
You've mentioned recruiting a couple times. Are you getting questions from recruits about the conference situation at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
How do you respond to those sort of
We
concerns?
get questions from recruits about absolutely everything. That's called recruiting. You know, every time you talk to a recruit, you say, you got any questions? You know, and they usually have questions, and you usually answer them.
How do you respond to those specific concerns?
Just like I just made reference to, you know, I think the product that we put out there is something that's very appealing to a whole lot of people. You know, and you know, people want to come to West Virginia and because of what you see, you know, and the atmosphere, the excitement, what you're putting out there on the field, you know, what the athletic department brings to the table. You know, perennial top 20 team in football, basketball, men's and women's basketball. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be a part of it? You know, and why wouldn't it? Every geography's fantastic. You know, the landscape's fantastic. Why wouldn't, you know, West Virginia be a major player in anything that you're looking at from a conference realignment standpoint to a recruiting standpoint? And I firmly believe that. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.